you're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail? Like I said.
Dave Palumbo back with another edition of Iron Rage. Lee Priest on the other end with his mental hamster coffee mug that I'm kind of like really digging, I gotta tell you. Love the colors.
I got a bone to pick with you, Dave, too. You know, I don't normally follow people on Instagram, but because I saw you follow me from your page, I figured, you know what, I'll give Dave a follow, you know, just a bit.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering how I got that extra follow the other day.
Yeah, but the first thing that pops up, you showing a fucking story of here's some nice green beans and some mahi with some soya sauce. I'm like, didn't we do a whole show about fuckwit supposed pictures of fucking food? And then it's the first thing I fucking see.
I'll tell you why I did it. I had an alternative reason because the mahi.
I'll tell you why you did it. You're a fuckwit.
Yeah, I'm a fuckwit. You're right. You're right. I sold out. Now, I have a guy who's sending me free mahi fish right from Virginia, along with oysters. So I have to give him a plug, you know, Lee.
Did you give him a plug? I just heard you say you had the mahi and oysters.
No, I said thanks.
I didn't hear where it come from.
Yeah, no, I said thank you to Billy Hooper for the mahi. So.
And then the vegetables and the soy sauce mixed with something else, like one of those.
Well, I had to give people some ideas how to prepare it, you know, if I'm going to help the guy sell it, right?
Well, then the reason I followed was because you sent me, was that your son wearing the Thanos mask, the hand?
Yeah.
So,
which one?
Yeah, he's just got to learn to do that finger one in the middle of when he's wearing the hand.
I said, you know, Lee Priest doesn't have the new Iron Man gauntlet, right? You don't have that one.
Is that the one he had on, was it?
Yeah, he had the Iron Man one on. Except I didn't want to buy him the $100 one that has the articulating fingers. I figured he'd break them probably anyway.
Oh, you cheap bastard. And then I saw a video of him jumping around like he bumped his head on something. Like,
yeah. Well, you know, my son doesn't like to do anything in public, so he's actually participating in school. So you know, I had to like celebrate that. You know.
You made him do it, didn't you? Yeah. When it's his 21st birthday.
My son's just like you. I can't make him do anything. That's the problem. You know, I can't even bribe him.
You got to play that back to him when he's 21, huh? In front of everyone. I could just see the little girl sitting there watching him while he's jumping around going, oh, he ain't dating this motherfucker. He's got issues, this one. And then the person in the background is Dave. Oh, that's my boy.
The funny thing is he hits all the bodybuilding poses, and I didn't even teach him them. He just from watching videos.
Don't encourage that, Dave.
Yeah, I'm trying to discourage that.
That's child abuse.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I'm trying to discourage it. So today's topic is, you know, I'm a little irate over the fact that, you know, every time I go, well, not every time, but I go to a lot of businesses and, you know, I ask people questions on how to do certain things. And you think that like, I'll give you, for instance, I have a pool company, right? And I installed, when I put my pool in, I had a jacuzzi jets, you know, in these tri-jets installed in the jacuzzi part of the pool. And these people didn't know how to set them up. And I'm like, you know, you guys have told me you did thousands of pools. How come you don't know how to set these jets? How come I'm having to walk this through with you, and it seems like you don't even know what you're doing? He's like, well, we don't do that many tri-jets. I said, well, yeah, but you've done at least one more than I've done, which is 0. I said, how come you don't know how to do this stuff? I get irritable when people don't know aren't experts in the thing that they do. It would be like if someone came to you, Lee, and said, how do you hit a front double bicep? And you're like, well, I'm not really sure. I haven't hit a front double bicep in 2 years. You know, that would drive me nuts. And I can't stand it, the incompetence. I go to hospitals, they don't know how to fill out, you know, surgery consent forms. I'm like, don't you guys do surgery in this fucking place?
No, that's because this is all started there because of everyone gets a fucking award. That's why. Because you don't have to be good anymore. You can just say, well, I think I can do it. Then someone goes, oh, here you go, here's an award. Yeah, kids go to school and they go running races. I come first, second, third. That's all you used to get. Now the fucking retard that comes last, oh, look here, you get a fucking medal too for being a loser, you dumb cunt. So now when he goes into the workforce, well, I don't need to learn how to do that. I don't know. I don't have to learn how to put a pool in. I'm just going to tag along here with maybe the guy that does, and I'll get paid at the end of the week too because I'm fucking special, cunt. So That's what it's all come down to. All that bullshit. My mum had she was getting a new bathroom put in. This was a couple of years ago, and the plumber, the so-called plumber,
right.
It took him like weeks and weeks, cost almost $10,000 more, because he had to actually go hire a guy to come and do the plumbing. But yet he has his plumbing business, but he had to go hire a plumber.
Doesn't that drive you nuts, though? It drives me crazy. I can't believe that people can have a plumbing business and not know how to put plumbing in. Well, we haven't done a job like this in a while. But that's what you fucking do. That's like someone coming to me and saying, hey, Dave, what do I do to lose this last 5 pounds? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I got to call up George Farah and figure it out. Well, why are you a contest prep coach if you don't know how to fucking diet someone?
Well, Dave, there's a lot of them out there who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. That drives me crazy.
They'll take your money too. They don't know what they're doing. Then they'll go online and Google it and send you the diet from Google. So.
You're right.
Yeah, but he has his whole business advertising he's a plumber and he can't even do it himself.
You know what? That's not uncommon in today's world, and that is driving me nuts. I've had guys. I had a guy send me a diet. He's like, my last coach. Let me see the diet he had, John. He sent me a diet. It was my diet. It wasn't even my diet rewritten. It was in it was in the way I write things. It was copy and pasted and sent to me. The guy probably didn't know how to work the diet. He just had a copy of it from someone.
So yours are easy to recognize because they're written in fucking crayon.
You're right.
It's pretty easy to recognize Dave's diet, but it always happens over here in Australia because we don't get tips. People get a pretty good wage here. I think the average wage now is up to like $20 an hour or something. $25 an hour for the average minimum wage.
Insane.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's for teenagers even. So here, when you go to a place, to a restaurant or anywhere, even into a shop, you can be walking around for all the time. The person will be on their phone or just not paying attention. It doesn't matter. I'm getting paid anyway. So they don't work on commission. They don't work on tips in restaurants. So once they bring you your food in a restaurant, you'll be lucky to ever see them again until you're walking out the door. At least in America, if they're working for tips, they actually come and give you good service. But here in Australia, it's just gone to shit. And even trying to get somebody, I think my mum wanted to get tiles done. This was only 6 months ago. Called like 7 different people. They made appointments. We'll come out. No one turns up. No one shows up. So it's like these people must just be making that much money. They don't need work anymore. Or they don't even give you a courtesy call to say they're not going to come. So my mum waits home all day for them to show up, and nobody shows up.
Unbelievable. And then they complain that no one has a job or they don't have any money, but they don't want to work.
It all comes back to, like I said, they having to give everyone awards these days, and everyone's a fucking winner, and you're great at what you do. No, you're not great at what you do. You're a fucking idiot. That's what they need to be taught in school. I had on TV the other day, I even said to the wife, this thing come on for women and men. You can be anything you want to be. No, you fucking can't. Just fucking face it, you can't. In your mind, you might want to be a pilot, but you haven't got the brains or you're too fat to get in the plane. It's like me saying, I want to be an NBA player. Oh, I could fucking dream it all I want. It ain't going to fucking happen, is it? So these whole bullshit, you can be anything you want if you put your mind to it. Get fucked. You can't fucking do anything you want. This is bullshit. That's what they're teaching kids today. If you want to do it, go rub the fucking genie lamp too while you're at it. He'll come out and give you a couple of wishes. Wish for a dose of fucking reality. Fuck. Stupid.
It's a sad truth, but you know what? And I see it all the time in our bodybuilding world. If you saw some of these diets and some of these protocols that coaches have people on, because these people will come to me and say, hey, Dave, I got 3 weeks left. Can you help me here? And they're in the worst shape possible. And the coach has got them on the most ridiculous plans. And I'm like, did you ask the coach why they had you on this? They said, don't ask questions. I said, well, that's when you should run as fast as you can. As soon as, if no one can explain to you why they're having you do something, run for the hills, I said.
On the last few weeks, I don't even hear back from their coach, but I get that a fair bit. Hey, I got just 2 days ago, Lee, I got a show coming up in 3 weeks. I'm this, that, I'm still holding a bit of water. My coach has got me doing this. Can you help me? I'm thinking, look, mate. I said, I don't know what you've been taking, what you've been eating, and how you're training. I said, I'm not going to come in the last 2 or 3 weeks and try and change shit around because I don't know what you've been doing. They don't even send me a picture half the time, so I don't even know how they look. So, they're going to step in the last... What happens here in Australia, there's a couple of those self-made gurus here that have done a couple of shows and suddenly become gurus, and I can be the same gym as these people and the people training, get ready for a show. They never come and ask me. They say, hey, Lee, I got such and such helping me. Just give me a diet. Can you look over and tell me what you think? I'm like, fuck off. You just paid him. Why the hell am I going to look over it now to give you my opinion? It's like, you went to this guy. You didn't come to me. So why the fuck should I help you?
I wind up helping those people.
I don't want to help you anyway because you look like a loser. I know you're going to look shit on the way, so I don't want to be associated with you.
I wind up helping those people, Lee, because I feel bad for them. I feel that they've been taken such advantage of that I want to just try to fix them. But you're right. A lot of times the damage is done already, and you're really just playing damage control. And I've told people before, just don't do the show.
And the thing is, too, they'll be with that coach for, say, 14 weeks, and he's pretty much fucked them up. They'll come to you and say, Dave, can you help me the last 2 weeks? Or Lee, can you help me the last 2 weeks? You try and help them, and when they look shit, they say, well, Dave told me to do this. They don't mention the other coach. They don't mention the other coach that fucked them up for the 14 weeks previous. It's the last 2 weeks that you couldn't get them in shape. It's your fault. So.
I've helped people where they've come to me like 3 weeks out, and they're in such terrible shape, and we've made, I'll get them to lose 15 pounds and it's still just not enough, so you're right. But most of the people who will see the changes in their physique know that you've helped them. But it's sad, once again, that people are out there, perpetrating themselves as experts, whether it be in bodybuilding coaching or plumbing or installing pools or doing surgery in a hospital, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. If you're going to do something, be an expert in it. Be the best that you can be. Have pride in what you do. That's what people don't have anymore. They don't have pride in their profession anymore.
Well, surgery's a big one, though. I hope they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I meant the people who
laying on that table. So.
The people who do the paperwork. That's for sure. For the surgery.
In August, I got to get some surgery on this eye for the cornea thing, and that. So I'm hoping that he knows what he's doing, or I might end up like a pirate for the rest of my life. But I think that's a good look, isn't it?
What happened to your cornea?
And they said like the skin here is like super loose like this, so the eye shape is going from round to like a football shape, so it's sort of changing the vision look. So they're going to cut a section out here and cut a section there, then they sew it together so it tightens the eye back up or something.
You're basically getting an eye lift.
No, it's not an eye lift.
Yeah, you're getting cosmetic. Lee Priest is getting a facelift. That's the rumor. RxMuscle newsflash.
Yeah, so I'll get it on one eye, so this eye will look really nice and young. And
you should get the other one done too. You could get that tattoo taken off of it. They can just connect the skin.
Get the nose done as while I'm at it, and fucking everything else done. So. I forgot what I was going to tell you now, but I couldn't have been.
Maybe you could avoid getting the tattoo removed. They could just actually pull your face back more, and they could get rid of the tattoo, and you could start over. You'll have like a fresh, tight canvas.
Well, maybe they can put a hair on your back just over your head so you don't have
I wish they could. You know what, Lee? I got no more hair on my back ever since I stopped taking steroids.
What about the hair that grows out of your ears? Just pull it up and tie it in a fucking...
My nose, I got much more... I got more nose hair than I have ear hair. They could probably... I could, mustache it up and they can maybe cut it out and I can just, put it on the top of my head.
A lot of people are interested in those... RX shirts with, like I said on them, they're going to be a big hit.
I know. I'm going to upload them with the Iron Rage design that I already uploaded. So I bet
it always comes up and people say how it took them that long to mention his name, but I wasn't going to mention Steve today. But you probably can't hear it right now. But there's some birds outside. They're a very famous Australian bird. And as soon as I heard of them, as soon as I heard the bird outside squawking, it reminded me of Steve. Do you know what bird's outside right now?
Queer
Steve
duck?
would love one.
What are they called?
No. Cockatoo. It's just that.
I love cockatoos.
Yeah, so does Steve. He loves a cockatoo as well. So you can get the silver-crested white one, or you can get the red-feathered black one. They come in two different colours, these cockatoos. So. Speaking of
cockatoos, your new device, the cock catcher, has been very. I've been getting requests for it. When are you going to start putting them out?
I think it's going to be well received. So.
Well, James Hollingshead was on my show just before I interviewed him, and he actually told me that he'd be interested in getting one. I said you'd sponsor him, with the first cock catcher.
First prototype.
Yeah. So I think you're missing the boat. I think I've actually built up a whole clothing company for you to now take advantage of. And you
Thank
could even...
Well, I'm not sure what Steve's doing now with the MV magazine, if it's still doing good or not, but what I might do is get Steve, if he's out there listening, to help me with the prototype. I might get him to go around and just like help me out by measuring people. He can sort of just go around and caress their balls and scrotums just to measure. So, you know, or he can get back to me, Lee, it was one handful, just a little handful, Lee. Here's his 2 handfuls. Or if his hands are too sore from typing about diets and shit, he can use his mouth. Lee, here's one tongue length, 2 tongue lengths, or Lee, he touched the back of my molars. So that's how I can know how big they are.
How would you measure when you want to go for your sizing chart, Lee? How would like the person who's buying the cock catcher from you, how would they measure? Would it be a flaccid measure or an erect measurement?
That'd be flaccid because, you know, come contest time, we all know there ain't much happening downstairs by the time the diuretics by the time some people have overdone the diuretics, you know, I could just, you know, put a fucking, you can put a butt plug up. You can put a butt plug where the fucking thing was. It's like, cunts are walking around on stage with like a stack of quarters. It's all just fucking...
I think you should have like I think you should sell the cock catcher as like a 3-pack, because you know sometimes you have an accident, you shit yourself or you pee yourself. You got to have at least three pairs of those things just in case.
Who the fuck's pissed or shit themselves at contest time?
You ever go into the bathroom backstage at these shows?
But I haven't, like, you know, but
they're horrible.
I shit myself. I always thought that was tan running down your leg. Now you're telling me it's shit.
Lee, I've seen in the garbage pails backstage underwear that's got like more shit stains on it than you've ever seen. Just people just throwing them out.
Well, I remember how's this. So this is going back a lot of years now. I did see this backstage when I was probably 18. This was back when everyone was doing all this weird shit. I went backstage. Now this is where if you've got a close training partner or not, you can know you got to trust them. But a guy was actually backstage, laying on the floor in this little corner, because I was there early, because I always get there early, but they were there earlier than me. And he actually had a funnel, and he was giving his mate a coffee enema.
Oh, backstage?
Oh. Yeah, backstage. Because he just thought he was bloated and stuff, and he couldn't get it out, so his mate suggested that he do a coffee enema. So I'm walking out, and this guy's got the fucking tube in the funnel, pouring coffee. I'm thinking, well, fuck, for one, you wouldn't want it to be too hot coffee, would you, fucking going in? And then I'm thinking, what's next? Fucking milk and sugar and just fucking around. But I'm thinking, you know, you think about those enemas like that. I remember when I had one of those things done for my reality show where they do the colonic. Yeah. Even when it's over, you know, an hour or two later, you're still pissing out your ass. Yeah. So much water caught up inside. So I'm thinking, even if he does the coffee enema and, you know, gets the majority out, what happens then if he's on stage and all of a sudden a fucking, you know, a fucking decaf or cappuccino comes shooting out and ab pose.
What? So what? After he did the enema, did you hear him go in the bathroom and just like explode all the crap out?
I didn't actually hang around for all that, but, you know, I'm sure there would have been a fucking beautiful coffee mocha coming out the fucking other end. That's for sure. Oh, look at this. Look, coffee mocha. Oh, look, fucking, this must be the special one. It's got corn kernels in my coffee. Beautiful. Yeah, so I have actually seen that backstage, so that's probably up there with one of the weirdest things at doing something backstage.
Lee, we came out with the coffee enema first at Twin.
He must have planned it. I'm thinking he must have planned it though, because I'm thinking, who the fuck for one has a coffee thing to fucking make coffee? Who the has a fucking tube and a fucking funnel to fucking pour it up your ass?
It's in every backstage emergency kit, Lee, you bring with you. Don't you have one of those?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I didn't look close enough. Maybe it was fucking Richard Gere giving the gerbil this morning coffee. I don't fucking know.
Come on, every bodybuilder has that in their little gym bag, a funnel and some instant coffee, man, right?
No, of course they do. Right near the hot stuff. Yeah. Remember that stuff backstage? Remember the old hot stuff everyone would be spraying on and slapping it on? You walk backstage and your eyes would be fucking burning.
Oh, yeah, I know. Especially I have contact lenses. It would be like affixing those contact lenses to my eyes.
Now,
terrible.
For some people it worked well. The ones that were super, super lean and the vascularity was already there. But I saw people that were like smooth putting it on, and all it did was make them red and brought fluid to the surface.
Oh, yeah, they look like Big Lenny,
out.
those people on stage, yeah.
And they just look like a big fat red version of me right now. But they have got stuff on, so, you know.
It is what it is.
What can I say? Yeah. So the moral of the story is stop telling everyone they're great. Stop telling everyone they can do everything when they're young because they can't. And not everyone should get an award. Otherwise, when they get to the workforce, they end up at Dave's place and they can't put a fucking pool in properly.
That's right. That's right. You know what the problem is? I think you're right. I think you're right. There's no one wants to work. So now we have the people who are incompetent, who can't really do their job, that are forced to step up and actually take positions of importance because the people who actually can handle the jobs they think they're too good to work, so they don't want to do the job.
Well, you get the ones now too where so many businesses now, I know in Australia, even the government is trying to get more women in, rather than get the person that can actually do the job or is qualified for the job. We want to make quotas, so we're just going to throw people in just to get this quota ratio in balance when they can't even do the job properly. It should be whoever, man, woman, whatever, if they're most qualified, they get the job, not based on race or whatever else or gender. It should be the best person, simple as that. And if you're not good enough for that job, you don't get that job, as simple as that. But sadly, though, bodybuilding's gone that way now. We've got a fucking division for everybody, so everyone gets a pro card. It's like fucking Oprah. You get a pro card, you get a pro card, and you get a pro card. Oh, we don't have a division for you yet, but just wait. In 6 months' time, we'll get one for you, to fucking lose a cunt division where you don't even have to diet, you don't have to tan, you don't have to do anything. You just come on stage and we'll give you a medallion because your parents said you're great.
Lee, I go to the doctor sometimes, and I know more than the doctor on a certain topic that I'm asking him about,
well,
and I have to keep my mouth shut. Days. I got to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to get fired as a patient. Then I won't have anyone to run my tests and stuff like that. So I just shut up and I pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you very much.
But did you notice when you used to go to the doctor when you were younger, you'd actually go in, they'd ask you what was wrong, they'd do your blood pressure, they'd do this, they'd do that, like that, and look in your mouth and your ears and everything. But now you walk into a doctor, they sit there, they put a prescription pad on the table and they go, what can I get you?
Yeah.
They don't even ask. They don't even ask what's wrong or anything. Like you said, half the time when people go in now, they've already Googled their symptoms, so they walk in and go, doctor, I think I've got this and I need this. And the doctor's like, okay, next. They don't even check you anymore, or they don't even see. So people actually go into the doctors and tell them what they have, and the doctor doesn't even check. They go, okay, here you go, here's a script for it, and off they go.
I can't tell you how many people that I have diagnosed by their blood work that the doctors missed. They're like, and they'll go to their doctors and they'll be like, no, that's an interesting point. Let's look into that. And I'm like, this is your doctor. They didn't catch this on blood. Why are they running blood work if they're not catching what's wrong with you?
But how many times have you heard that? I've heard that a few times with people that have certain cancers. They go to the doctor, have a pain here. It's indigestion, go home, blah, blah, blah. Now to go back, the pain's still worse. And there's one on TV not long ago when he went back because he had this pain down. He thought he had like some sort of appendicitis. But when he finally went back, it was stage 4 cancer of the bowel or something.
No, it's terrible. It's true.
Doctor just kept sending him back. Oh, it's okay. And so many people, like even with chest pain or something like that, oh, it's indigestion, it's heartburn, it's this, it's that. And then, they just did the proper test. They'd probably see you might have a blockage or there could be something wrong with your arteries and stuff. But doctors these days, it seems like they just can't be bothered to go into that sort of thing where go see a specialist or go see this. You'll be right. Here's a script. Go home and take these. And next thing you know, a week later, you drop dead on the floor. And they say, well, why didn't the doctor diagnose this? Well, he didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, well, you know what? Unfortunately, you're very, very right. And that's why when you go to the doctor, it's very important that you don't get bullied by them. You tell them what's going on. If they kind of dismiss it, follow up. Ask for them to send you for a diagnostic test. Ask them to do more blood work. Because you know what? The only person that really cares about you is you.
And that's the thing, too. I think people are so scared to question their doctor, actually.
They are.
The doctor says, no, you're right. They're like, oh, okay, I don't want to argue with them or say I'm not. But, you know how you feel. Everyone's in tune with their body. If you feel there's something wrong, well, like you said, get a second opinion or see somebody else because deep down, this just ain't right. It's not just a little mild case of heartburn or it's not just a pain in my side here or there. So, yeah, but people, like I said, once the doctor says you're fine, people go, okay, he said I'm fine.
Yeah, well, look, that's what Matt Porter went to the doctor. He knew that something was wrong. He knew it. His wife said it. He didn't feel well. They dismissed it. They kept saying, you're fine. You only have a cold. And you know what? Had he pushed and pushed and pushed a little further, he might still be with us today. So it's very important that you, like you said, don't worry about what anyone else thinks or says. You know inside if there's something wrong with you and you don't feel normal, and then you got to get it checked out. That's the bottom line, because there's
like I said, is too, if you do feel like there's something wrong inside and you don't feel normal, chances are you're a fucking retard.
Yeah, you got a lot of flack for calling people retards on the last show. You know that, right?
Okay, look, but you have to understand, I'm a retard myself, so...
Well, you know what? Someone told me that. Someone said Lee Priest broke the cardinal rule. They said Lee went full retard on the show.
So, like I said, if I'm not offended by me calling myself a retard, then it doesn't bother me. And I've got friends that are retards, and they're happy with it. So I can't control how other people think, though, even if they are fucking retards. But, you know, and chances are they're watching this video again, watching me call people a retard, and they're just going to complain about it again. And next week they'll watch another one. So, you know, if they are watching this over and over and commenting, they're fucking retards. So what can I say? Welcome to the club, people. Live long and prosper. Nanu, and all that stuff. So, fucking retards.
And on that incompetent note, that's going to take us to the end of another episode here of Iron Rage. Guys, if you have suggestions for topics for Lee and I to discuss, put them in the comments below. Because we love to argue, we love to talk, we love to complain. And
we don't want sensible training type topics.
No, nothing sensible. Topics. No, nonsensical.
Dave and I are like the retarded Dr. Phils of the bodybuilding world.
That's right.
Well, he is anyway.
The more nonsensical, the better. That's what I always say. All right.
Exactly.
Lee, enjoy your morning, your coffee. Don't stick it up your ass, please. Just put it down your throat.
I'm going to go outside and have a cockatoo.
And don't forget, start working on the cock catcher because I have a lot of pre-orders for you.
Okay, and the clitoris one too. Don't leave them out. Don't be a male chauvinist.
What's that? The cunt catcher?
Cover up.
And the
cunt cover up. Right, cunt cover up.
The cunt cover. But you know, there's some we have to put the extra pouch in for those women that just.
Well, that's why you have to measure.
You know, just
you got to
a
measure.
little 100 milligrams too much on the old test.
I'm Dave Palumbo with Lee Priest. We'll see you next time.